Sounds great. So, we've gotten off to an exceptional first year, and we'd like to build on that. What about 2011? Everybody's got a tablet. Is 2011 going to be the year of the copycats? Well, I think if we did nothing, maybe a little bit, probably not so much, because most of these tablets aren't even catching up with the first iPad. But we haven't been resting on our laurels, because in less than a year, we're going to introduce today iPad2, the second generation iPad. So, what is iPad2? What have we learned? What can we improve? Well, it is an all-new design. It is not a tweaked design. It's not got marginal improvements. It's a completely new design. And the first thing is, it's dramatically faster. We have a new chip we call A5. Our chip wizards have come up with this, and it's great. It's dual-core processors, right? 2 processors inside. And so we get up to twice as fast on CPU performance, but we've really gone all out on the graphics performance. Up to 9 times faster graphics. The graphics on this thing are wonderful. Same low power as A4. We don't want to give up any of that legendary battery life. And even though others are starting to ship, I think this is going to be the first dual-core tablet to ship in volume. So A5 is really quite an achievement, and is going to give us something that's up to twice as fast on CPU performance, up to 9 times faster on graphics, and the first iPad was no slouch. So, a lot faster with A5. Second, we've built in some cameras for video. We've got a rear camera out the back, and we've got a front-facing camera out the front. We'll talk more about that in a few minutes. We've also built in the gyroscope that we have in the iPhone and the iPod Touch. Now, having built in all of this stuff, one of the most startling things about the iPad 2 is it is dramatically thinner. Not a little bit thinner, a third thinner. 33% thinner. That's what it looks like. So if you look at the numbers, when you look at the numbers, gone from 13.4 millimeters down to 8.8 millimeters thick. It's dramatic. And for those of you that have iPhone 4s, the new iPad 2 is actually thinner than your iPhone 4. So we're incredibly happy with this, and when you get your hands on one, it feels totally different. And all of these other tablets are coming out, most of them even thicker than the original iPad, nothing even approaching this. In addition to thicker, it's lighter as well, going from 1.5 pounds down to 1.3. And you might not think that's a lot, but when you get down to 1.5 pounds, 1/10 of a pound is a lot. And it feels quite a bit lighter. And it's got an all-new design. It's just beautiful. So this is what it looks like. It's really thin. And it comes in 2 colors, black and white. We're going to be shipping white from day 1. So, and to give you some scale, this is what it looks like. Again, you can just pick this thing up. It almost floats. Black and white. Black or white here. Now, in addition to having both colors, we also have models that work with both AT&T and Verizon's 3G networking from day one. So we support both AT&T and Verizon. Now, here we are adding stuff into the iPad, cameras and faster processors and gyroscopes and all this other stuff. And we've made it way thinner. Something's got to give. And you would think that we would have to give up some of the iPad's legendary battery life. But our engineering team found a way, and we have the same legendary 10-hour battery life as the original iPad, with all of this extra stuff in it, and yet dramatically thinner. And again, that's over a month of standby. So 10 hours of battery life. Again, a lot of these other guys are coming out with substantially less, and this has been tried and tested by every reviewer. iPads get 10 hours of battery life. So we're really happy to keep that and never let that go. Now, in addition to preserving the battery life, when we add all this stuff, we've also preserved the price. And so we're going to keep the same exact prices starting at just $499, same exact prices as the current iPad, yet with all of these new features, a dramatically improved product. Now, some folks are out there saying, well, they're only a little bit more expensive than us at $799. Just when you take a look at this matrix of these 6 models, 5 of these 6 models are less expensive than $799. Okay, so they've really moved up into the high ground. We only have one model that's more expensive than $799. And you add all of this together with over 65,000 apps tuned to the iPad. And we think 2011 is going to be the year of iPad2. So, just a beautiful product. So when are we going to ship it? April, May, June? No. On March 11th, that's a week from this Friday, we are shipping in volume in the US. And 2 weeks after that, on March 25th, we are shipping in at least 26 more countries, including all of our high-volume countries, except a few where we're still getting regulatory approvals. So 26 countries or more on March 25th. This thing's going to be everywhere in the month of March. And that is iPad 2. Okay. We've got some really cool accessories. So, there's 2 I'd like to tell you about today. The first one, we've had a lot of requests for HDMI video out. Teachers want to hook iPads up to their flat-screen TVs in the classroom so that everybody can see, et cetera, et cetera. We have now an accessory cable that does just that. Right? It delivers HDMI mirrored video output. So exactly what you see on the iPad, you see on HDMI. It provides output up to 1080p. It works with all apps. So anything you can see on the iPad screen, you see on HDMI. It's exactly what people want. It supports rotation. There's no setup or configuration whatsoever, and you can even charge your iPad while you're using it. So if you're giving a presentation, you're running low on batteries, just plug in your transformer and plug it right in. And here's what it looks like. Place to plug in an HDMI cable and a place to plug in your 30-pin connector to pass through the power to charge it, if you so choose. And so here it is on a HD TV. It's really simple. And it works great, and it's just $39. So for people that need that, we've got a great accessory now. Something that's going to be even more popular, though, we call smart covers. For the original iPad, we did a case. Case is pretty cool. It can prop the iPad up for typing or for watching movies. Worked pretty well, except that we went to all this trouble to make a beautiful design, and we covered it up with this case. Right? But more than that, we added thickness and weight to the product, and we made it more difficult to use with some of the accessories. So we thought we could do better than this for iPad 2. And we started from the very beginning to design the case right alongside the product. And we have done that, but it's not a case anymore. It's a cover to cover the glass. It's a smart cover. And this is what it looks like. And it bends and folds around just like this as a typing stand, and to watch movies on, just like the old one. Looks great with black, looks great with white. And it even automatically, instantly wakes up the iPad from sleep when you open it, and automatically puts the iPad to sleep when you close it. Now, how is this held on? Do we have some screws that you screw in? What do we do? No, we use magnets. Our engineering and ID team came up with this idea of using magnets that grasp it and auto-align it. So it's always in perfect alignment. And I'll show you a little video of this. You won't believe it. It's so cool. And you can remove it in a second. You can add it in a second. It adds minimal weight and thickness because it's just covering the top. It's got a microfiber lining that cleans the screen every time you move it, open it or close it. Again, it automatically wakes on open, puts the iPad to sleep when you close it. It's really easy to remove or change the cover. So you can have a bunch of them and pick which cover you feel like today. And easily just put it on. And they come in polyurethane, which is used to make spacesuits, or leather. And so I've got a little video that just shows you how this thing works. And let's run that video. It's one of my favorite little videos. It actually kind of reminds me of a Pixar short or something like that. But as you see, we actually built magnets right into the iPad itself. And then there's magnets in the hinge for the smart cover. And it not only holds the cover on, but it auto-aligns it. It's really cool. And, of course, what would these cases be if they didn't come in colors? So we've got 5 polyurethane colors and 5 colors of leather. And they're really, really beautiful. They look great with the black unit. They look great with the white unit. The polyurethane cases are $39. The leather cases are $69. And we think people are going to love these cases. So those are the 2 accessories I want to tell you about. Now let's go back into the iPad 2 and let's talk about the software that it's running.